Hi friends, Itheria here, and today I'm talking about everything wrong with Island Sanctuary. My title is dramatic, yeah, it's clickbait, but I am going to talk about things that I think can be improved. So I do want to say I don't hate Island Sanctuary at all. I'm currently rank 6, and I'm trying to keep farming it because I really want some of the items from it. But I am worried that this is the kind of content that a lot of us are going to farm, get what we want, and then just forget about. I was excited to see it come, and I'm really excited for it to be a part of the game. I think it's great for the game to expand into different types of content and give us more to do, more variety, I should say, because I think the variety is what's important. But let's just get into the things that I think can be improved. First of all is decoration. I'm going to try not to spend too much time here because I have a tendency to babble, but I think a lot of us were hoping that we'd be able to use housing decorations, especially outdoor furnishings, in the Island Sanctuary, and that is just not the case. Currently, I would argue that the customization is a little bit lacking. It does seem that as you level up your island, you unlock more customization, especially with the cozy cabin. You seem to be able to change the appearance of the cozy cabin and possibly even the ground around it, I think. And even though you can change those appearances, it's still very limited to basically change the cabin to a previous appearance or change the grounds to be like dirt or grass. So it's not like you get something really cool. It's very basic. But other than that, it seems like your only options are like which building is being put where, which landmark is being put where, and then a few different options between the landmarks. And I kind of wonder if everybody's Island Sanctuary is going to kind of look the same. Editing Itheria here, and I just found out that the island prisms that you need to customize your cozy cabin or hideaway are actually a level 90 crafted item. Luckily, you can buy them on the market board, and once the hype dies down, they should be pretty cheap because the materials that are needed to make them are easy to get. I think this choice is a little bit strange. I don't understand why they didn't make this available for cowries. It seems weird to me that this thing that they sold to us saying that we aren't going to need a crafter or gatherer then has an item that will require you to have a crafter at level 90, not like just a crafter, like a high level crafter. But I guess the good thing is that you won't have to spend ages farming your island for cowries in order to buy them. They will eventually be, hopefully, pretty cheap on the market board. I also want to add in that I wish you could preview the changes that you can make with the island prism, because currently I see no way to do that. And even if the prisms do become cheap, it's kind of annoying to be like, oh, I changed it, and oh, actually I don't like it, now I have to go get another prism. But anyways, back to the rest of the video. So I really hope that even if they don't decide to include outdoor furnishings, although I'm praying that they do, because literally I want a house not for the inside, just to decorate the outside with beautiful fountains, flowers, and trees and things, okay? So I'm really hoping they will eventually put outdoor furnishings here, but if they don't, I just think it would be great if they find a way to expand customization so that everybody can have a chance to make their island unique to them. I also think that this could possibly make the content more interesting or rewarding, so even if you get to a point where you farmed most of the things that you want, you might still want to play in order to customize. The next few things I want to talk about are some quality of life changes. I wish there was a building materials log. So every time that you construct a building, you need certain materials, and they show you that on the little sign in front of the building. The problem is that when you go out to gather those items, if you don't like screenshot it or write it down, you might forget. At least I do, and I just end up going out there and like being like, okay, I remember these 3 things, and like I gather as many of them as I can and hope that I gather enough. Then I go back and I look, and I just think it'd be better if they had a little log somewhere that showed like which materials each building needed, so you could check while you were out in the field. Next, another quality of life would be the demand. So if you go in your workshop and you go to set the agenda, it will show you there's a bunch of little buttons in the upper right hand corner, and one of them shows you the demand of the item, how popular it is, how much stock there is. And I wish that when you actually went to set the agenda, you're able to like look at all of the different items you can craft, and they show things like what category the item is, how much it'll sell for. I wish in that little details section that they would also put the demand hand, because there are so many items that even if I sort the items by like very high, there's still like dozens of items. I can't remember what's what. So I wish that when you hovered over the item while you're actually setting the agenda, it would show you all of those things about it, so you wouldn't have to click back and forth between menus. If that would be a possible thing to do, I just think that'd be so much easier. This next one is something I find a little problematic, which is that you are not really told your prerequisites for quests. So like I had a red quest and I talked to the guy and he was like, I'm gonna need a whole team and I'm gonna need some tools. And I'm like, okay, but what tools? And I looked at my crafting log and there's no new tools. And I did a bunch of stuff. I expanded a bunch of stuff on my island. I was doing all these things and it wasn't unlocking and I didn't know why. Well, finally, I managed to level up. And then I unlocked a couple more tools that I could craft. And once I crafted those, finally I was able to do that quest and expand my island further. I just wish they would tell us that, because I literally was confused for like a whole day. I didn't know what was going on or why I couldn't do that quest. And in the normal game, if you're trying to do some sort of quest that you don't meet the requirements for, it tells you, and it tells you what's wrong. It's like, your item level is too low, you're the wrong class, like it tells you. So I wish it would tell you in the Island Sanctuary as well. This next one is also pretty problematic, but you cannot demolish buildings. You can relocate your buildings, and as for your landmarks, you can reconstruct them, but you can't demolish them. So if you decided like, I shouldn't have made this granary, I would prefer to have a workshop, too bad. It does not seem like there's any option to change that, and I hope that they fix that. Next is that I wish we could teleport directly to our island using the teleport menu. I'm sure if this was possible, they would have put it in already, but if it ever becomes possible, I would like it. This is perhaps more important than the teleportation thing, but I think that they should give us a retainer bell. Like, you can go on this island and queue for dungeons and do like everything that you need, so why can't you talk to your retainers while you're there? I don't know, like I've been spending hours on this island, so having to leave to go and talk to my retainers every hour, it is a little bit inconvenient. So, I mean, and as far as that goes, if the lore here is that this is our private getaway, then why isn't there a glamour dresser? Because you best believe that I'm gonna be looking fly on my vacation. But Tataru lied, this is not a vacation, this is so much work. This one might just be me, but I want them to size up the minions. I don't know if like the camera is just able to go further out on the island than it is in like a housing district or something, but I feel like I can hardly see the minions. I feel like they are specks. Meanwhile, when I'm standing outside my FC house, I feel like my minions are like huge, like they're like half the size of my body. Okay, they're not that big, but you get my point, right? Like, am I the only one that thinks they look really small on the island? And I wish they would scale them up, like even if it's unrealistic. Even if in real life, this bird would go from being the size of like a finch to the size of like an eagle, I don't care. Like, please size it up. I can't see it. I can't see my minions. Also, we absolutely need more than 40 because I could fill one area alone with 40 and it would still look like there were barely any minions there. With such a huge island and with hundreds of minions available to us, I hope that they will expand that in the future. Speaking of minions, I wish that you could interact with them. I think it'd be really cute if they would follow you around, but okay, what I mean by interaction is when you're standing anywhere in the game and you have your minion out and you're like, hey, beckon, it'll walk over to you, or even like crawl up on your shoulder, or you feed it, or you pet it. Like, you can do those things, but you can't, as far as I know, do them in the Island Sanctuary. So I feel like they should fix that, if they can. I feel like that'd be like a nice little touch. It's like not necessary and it's not as important as all the other things I listed, but hey, it's a thing. So yeah, those are honestly all of the improvements that I would like to see. My dog is scratching at his bed and honestly, it's like almost 3 in the morning, so I'm sorry, you guys are just gonna have to hear that. Anyway, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about Island Sanctuary? Are you liking it? Was there anything that confused you? What improvements would you like to see made? As always, please remember to leave a sacrifice to Lord Algorithm in the form of a like, comment, share, or subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!